morning. I am off on a new friend date today. I think that I've told you that I've been going to pregnancy yoga recently, which has been wonderful. And our instructor has been ill. So yesterday she was ill yesterday, so we didn't have a class with her. And then she's on holiday for the next couple of weeks. So one of the girls from yoga said, does anyone want to go for a coffee? And actually I haven't met her in yoga because often some weeks people can't come. So there's often usually only about 2 of us or 3 of us, even though I think in the group there's maybe 6 or 7. So I don't think I've actually met her, but she messaged me and said, let's go for a coffee, and we were just chatting and stuff, and she seems lovely. And it's really nice to do that because obviously when you're pregnant, you can feel quite isolated and lonely. So it's quite nice to make friends who are also at the same stage as you. I think she's literally due a day before me. So we're going to go to Perranuthnoe, go to the cafe and have a little friend date and get to know each other, which would be nice. And Roxy gets a nice long, well, not maybe long, but she'll get a nice run around on the beach, which will be good. I'm running late though, so I'm not running late, but I have to go now, otherwise I will be late. Today is absolutely glorious. So just gone for a lovely walk along the coast at Perranuthnoe, and the cafe here is so nice and has such a nice time. It's so lovely to meet her and like chat all things pregnancy and life and stuff. Went for a really nice walk along the coast and then ended up at a little beach actually, which was nice, and then had some flapjack at the cafe. And actually someone at the cafe watches my videos, say hello if you're watching, and she so kindly gave me some cake to take home to share with Alex, so we'll enjoy that later. But what a nice way to start the day. Now I'm going to go to the supermarket to get ingredients for a barbecue later, because I have some recipes I need to test and it's beautiful weather. Like, we haven't had a sunny day like this. I think it's gonna be like 17 degrees today, so I want to go and get some ingredients. We're gonna have a barbecue with my family later, and yeah, I've got a burger to test, some salad, and maybe a chocolate torte if we have time. I did want to go to the garden centre, but now I'm trying to remember why. I had told you all about the vegetable beds and how I had felt quite overwhelmed because we've got so many of them. I'm pregnant, we're renovating a cottage, work is busy, and so I was just struggling to find the time. I do like a bed and then I get tired, and there's 16 of them. So if I was to do like a bed or so a week, that's going to take me too long. So I asked the guys who did our trees if they could come and just dig the beds up and put compost down. And they came yesterday and they've done like 6 of the beds. And I was like, that's exactly what we needed. Alex had done a few, but again, he's just literally at Newlyn every single day till like 7 p.m. So he has to obviously put priorities in place and that just was not a priority. So hopefully they'll come back and finish the rest of the beds and I can actually put some things in there now because it is April. I know that there are certain things that you can just sow straight outside. There is a risk with that obviously because of frost, because there's frost until May, but we don't have a greenhouse, so you've just got to win some, lose some and just give it a go. And lots of you just said, just clear the beds and just chuck loads of flower seed over half the beds, and that's what I'm going to do. So we'll probably take like an afternoon at some point in the coming weeks and just when all the beds are done, just literally plant cosmos and just wildflower over loads of the beds, or just like cut flowers I can have, so it's like low maintenance. Because I mean, maybe I'm being naive, but I feel like that's less maintenance than vegetables, because obviously there's more like slugs and pests that can get onto vegetables. So hopefully that could work quite well. And also it doesn't matter if it doesn't, basically. I need to basically Google what flowers would be good for that purpose, like really low. I know cosmos are, maybe marigolds. I've been growing some sweet peas, and I've got some dahlias, so maybe just a few others that can just fill the gap, maybe literally just wildflowers that are low maintenance and can make the beds look pretty, and there's something there for the time being. And then maybe just have like 4 beds that I actually have vegetables in, so that it's so low maintenance. And maybe a couple of them can be for like squashes that will come in the autumn, so I just plant them now. But yeah, leave me your tips. But let's go to the supermarket and get all our ingredients for the barbecue later. I'm so excited for a barbecue, I can't even tell you. It's literally the perfect weather. Look how much vegetable plants they have that I can just throw straight into the veg beds. Roxy, come on. Melon, winter squash. So this is maybe what we can do with some of the beds further down, is just get some crown prince and squash, pumpkins, that kind of thing. What else have we got? Broccoli, cabbage. Yeah, this is what I just have to do if I've not got the greenhouse to do it. I had to be quite restrained. Garden centres are... I feel like I've had a bit of a breakthrough this week. So I had therapy early this week and she said to me, Maddie, I'm going to ask that you only go to Newlyn once a week at the weekend and you don't go in the week, and get your dad to go, because I'd mentioned that my dad went midweek, and she was like, this is Alex's thing that he's focusing on. You've got other things that you're focusing on, like being pregnant and work projects and things. And she said, you can still help. But I was telling her how I feel like I'm like split in two a little bit, or split into three. And it's really interesting with like things to do with your mental health. Sometimes you get yourself in a bit of a muddle and it just takes one person to say something very simple to you for you to go, oh yeah, what was I thinking? Because I was putting so much pressure on myself, and Alex was as well. I think this kind of panicky feeling of, because I'm getting closer to like the 3rd trimester, and obviously at some point I'm going to be like preparing to give birth and then go on maternity. There is this fear, I think I spoke about it in one of my last videos, about maternity and like how that's going to work for me, being self-employed, running a business, all that kind of stuff, and all that kind of worry and fear. And so both of us, I think, had got into that kind of panicked, frantic mindset. We're like, we have to get this stuff done, we have to rush, we have to keep going, and it just means that you feel burnt out. And especially being pregnant, I just feel tired, and you don't actually get more done. You actually end up having days where you can't do anything because you feel so exhausted. So it's far better to face reality and go, I can only do what I can do. This is what I'm able to do. I'm better off doing that the best I can. And what will happen will happen. You know, the cottage will be done when it's done. It might not be ready for when we first wanted it to be, because we wanted it to be ready for Easter weekend. And it's probably looking more like mid-May. Maybe it won't even be ready in May. Who knows? Depends on tradesmen. And there's always stuff at the end that you forget about. And that's okay. Like, that is okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be open in spring, and that's fine. And same goes for like my work projects, which I can't really talk about with you. I can only do what I can do, and I've just got to keep going and do my best and not stretch myself thin, because if I stretch myself thin, then I won't work as well and I won't feel as creative and happy. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I was just in the garden centre looking at all the plants, thinking, oh, this is so nice, like looking at all these seeds that I can grow and how much joy that brings me, in the idea of doing the vegetable beds and having the guys there the other day to clear them. I think it was yesterday. I'll show you later what they did. And just remembering what gardening is. Gardening is not a competition. It's not let's make everything perfect or do it perfectly or be an expert. It is do it because it's fun and it's enjoyable, it's relaxing. And it's almost like I was creating in my own mind, because I'm a perfectionist and I really do this to myself a lot, this idea that with the garden and with the vegetable beds, I had to do it like perfectly and do all of it at once. And it's like, you literally don't. You can do what you want. It's your garden. Nobody cares. Yeah, I think maybe it's partly because I share this stuff on the internet. I'm like looking at what other people do and thinking, oh my gosh, they do so much more than me. But it's like, but then they're not me and they're doing other things. They've got a different life to me. Maybe they're not pregnant. Maybe they've not got other work projects they're doing, or maybe they're just, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. It's completely pointless. All you can do is look at what you're doing and what makes you happy. So just had a bit of a realisation then. I was just looking at like the sunflowers and the flowers and going, you know what, I don't have to get it all, I don't have to do it all, but I could plant a couple sunflower seeds. That would be really cute. I got, they had some reduced roses that were £2.99, reduced from £7. So I thought they could potentially be planted at our house or at Newlyn. I need to start calling it Kittiwake because that's its name, at Kittiwake. And they also had some Erigeron, which would be good for ground cover at ours or at Kittiwake. And yeah, I was just sort of thinking, this is the joy of it, just to get a couple seeds. I got some bulbs for, why has my brain gone blank? Foxgloves, the other name for them, or the similar. Begins with a G. Why has it gone out of my mind? Anyway, I'll show you. Yeah, just play around with it and have fun and just relax a little bit. Like this is a time I'll never get back. Like being pregnant at this stage, I'll have it again, but it'll be a second pregnancy, so it'll be different. This is my first pregnancy and I'll never be able to do this again. So just need to enjoy it, take it easy. And then what will be. I can only accept what's happening. Like I can only be one person. I can only do what I can do. And if I want to have a happy life, if I don't want to feel rushed or stressed, which I definitely don't because I've got a baby inside of me and that's really important. My therapist said in her culture, she's Jamaican, and she said in her culture, it starts in the womb. So she was like, you right now are, I think because I was telling her about something that happened in the week and I'd managed to calm myself down and she taught me a visualization. She was like, you're learning to self-soothe now, which you're also going to teach your baby because you're in this together. And I was like, that's what I needed to hear. So it makes me feel a bit emotional, but it's like, yeah, it's important to look after myself, my baby, and just not overdo it because that's what I've done my whole life. And where has it got me? It's made me an anxious mess and a perfectionist who can't be perfect because that is impossible. And it's a lifelong battle I have, and I'm still battling with it. But maybe pregnancy and motherhood is what's going to kick it to the curb because I have to slow down and accept. I have to accept the cards I'm given. I've only got one person. I can only do what I can do, and I can do it my best, but I can't do it all. And if I try and do it all, I'm just going to crash and burn. So I may as well just accept what I can do, and I'll probably do it much better. So with that in mind, let's go to the supermarket and then I'll show you what I got from the garden centre and only do what I can do today. So we'll see how much testing. I definitely will do the burgers and the salad. We'll see if I manage to do the chocolate torte. But I feel like my family would quite like a chocolate torte. I think it's quite easy. So yeah, and I think I need to pick up some beer as well for everyone from the... I might get some 0% beer, you know. It's quite good as alcohol-free alternatives go. You know that you're growing up when like you used to absolutely love to go to the club and now you just love to go to the garden centre and the whole food shop, or like the natural, well, this is called the natural store, like the local health food shop, because I have so much fun in there. I always have to try and stick to the list, and even today I was like, stick to the list, Maddie, and I didn't. I bought a few extra bits, but I still restrained myself. But there's so much fun stuff in there. I just love having a little browse, but I need to go to Sainsbury's because they don't have like some of the fresh food and that kind of stuff. So let's go. And I also need to get some briquettes for the barbecue. Roxy is yawning. We'll be home soon, I promise. One last little chore. Food shop's done, aircon is on. I feel like I'm running out of time. It's already like, I'm gonna get home, it's gonna be 2 o'clock. I need to eat lunch and then everyone's coming over at like 5, but like I need to get everything ready. I actually, realistically, I could probably do all of it in about an hour. So I'll probably just shove the camera on and just, yeah, it's fine. It won't take very long to do. So let's head home. And goodness only knows what I'm going to eat for lunch. Probably it's going to be a bit of a picky bits lunch. Look what we've come home to, some juicy buns.
Oh my gosh, who made those? While we were out. Oh, you're talking about Roxy.
Just nibbled on some leftover fajitas from last night. There's not much room here for me to actually show you what I got in the shops, but we'll see how we get on. So the first shop, the natural store. We have got some random things. Pine nuts, because I'm going to be making pine nut wild garlic focaccia. I've been dreaming of this weekend, and I want to go get some more wild garlic, so yeah, we're going to be making that. I got some different beans because I'm going to make like a multi-grain bean salad today, and I wasn't really sure. The original plan was with black eye beans. I fear I won't have time because I know that it's best to like soak these and cook them for a long time. I got other beans just in case, so see how we get on with that. This is like the most expensive snack on the planet. This is organic mango, like dried mango, and this was £6 for this amount. However, this is the best thing in the world. So I treat myself to it occasionally. It reminds me of Thailand. We would buy this all the time in Thailand. It was still quite expensive actually there, but it was just the tastiest thing on planet Earth. So not quite as good as the stuff you get in Thailand, but still delicious. And then we've got some black beans to make some burgers, some borlotti beans, and some more black beans.
Maddie lied to me and said they were Doritos.
No, I said they're tortillas or Doritos, and he thought there was an extra bag of crisps, so he's annoyed that we're having to save the crisps for the barbecue later.
You're supposed to buy one bag for everyone else and one bag for me.
I know exactly what will happen, because we've got the guacamole and salsa from yesterday. I thought we'd have that as dip before we have our barbecue, and everyone's waiting for the food to cook. And I thought, if I put that out, you're just going to eat all of the dip with Doritos as you go about your day.
Yeah, that would happen.
So it's not happening. I also couldn't resist the kimchi. I realised I haven't had kimchi because in the first trimester I got the ick for it, even though I have it all the time usually. And so I haven't bought some in a while, and I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I stopped buying kimchi and sauerkraut when it used to be a staple. So I picked up some more of that. Peppermint tea, I have this every evening and I've run out. Pomegranate molasses. This is probably something that's a bit more like unique to buy and have in your cupboard, but if you do like cooking, it's a really lovely thing to buy if you want to make your own dressings. It's so delicious. I think there is a fly circling right in front of you, and it's one of those days that maybe it's the lights. I think what's it, yeah, there we go. Hopefully that stops it from doing that. And then we got some strong white flour so I can make the focaccia tomorrow. So that was from the natural store. And then in the shop I got a big crate of Diet Coke, which you can't see because I thought that'd be good as a soft drink. I'm just going to put it in the cupboard and try and stop Alex from drinking it all, because if I buy soft drinks or cans of Coke, he will just have one every day. So I said to him, nope, this is for when we have barbecues, or if I'm, obviously because I'm pregnant, I can have one when everyone else is drinking. But I also got myself some 0% Corona, because I also did wonder, obviously people coming over, they'll be driving, so maybe some people might want some of this, so that'd be useful. And actually I think that the 0% Corona is fantastic. It tastes so real, and it really just has that feeling of like summer when you have a bit of lime in it. I got some Yealand's Sauvignon Blanc because this is vegan, it is sustainable, and it's a delicious wine, so I thought my mum and my sister would enjoy that. We've got some crisps, some sea salt and Suffolk and cider vinegar, and then some like plain tortillas for the dips. Got some tribute. I don't think I've ever shown you like alcohol that I've purchased from a food shop before. This is for my dad, some tribute, some Cornish ale. Got a bit of salad, though I'm now thinking I should have got two. See how we get on. This isn't sausages. Sausages are really fantastic. And then these are the cauldron ones. I don't remember if these are good or not. They're both on offer, so I thought we'd get both. We have got Nourish cheese slices to put on top of the burgers I'm going to be making. If I have time, I'm going to do this last. I might make some chilli sauce because I really want to make my own chilli sauce because I buy so much of it. So I bought loads of chilies, but it'll be the last thing I do because everything else I'd quite like to get done first. Radishes, tomatoes for salads, dark chocolate for the chocolate top. That will, again, we'll see how much time we have. I feel like I should be able to make that, we'll see. Yeast packets, Mutty tomato puree, some Cajun seasoning. That's for the burgers. More tomatoes, some treats for Roxy because we had run out. The ones that I would get from the supermarket, usually we order them online, but Pooch and Mutt is a good brand. They seem to be more like actual ingredients, like the first ingredient is actual food rather than lots of the ones you find in the supermarket are a bit like, what is even in this? And then same goes for scrumbles, and also Lily's, is it Lily's Kitchen? I feel like, or is that a human food? Yes, it is Lily's Kitchen. Chew sticks. So that's what we tend to go for. And also we do order from, there's like a vegetarian dog website. She isn't vegetarian, but with treats, we do often buy like vegetarian treats because she loves them just the same, and she's getting all of her nutrients from her actual dog food. But we had ran out and I was like, we haven't made an order, I just need to get some treats. So these are for little Bobby. And then weird craving. I had a craving for this the other day, peach slices, like tinned. I think I saw it on TikTok. Honestly, TikTok is the thing that makes me crave stuff, and I don't know why, but I saw this on TikTok, someone eating like peach slices out of a jar, and I was like, oh my goodness, I need them. I bought them the other day, this exact one, and it was so good. That's the most consistent craving I've had throughout pregnancy, is fruit. Really fresh, like citrusy fruits and sweet fruits, so like mangoes, oranges, peaches, berries. Just cannot get enough of them. Grapes, apples. Don't know why that is. Obviously I'm trying to listen to my body when it has a craving, because I think that's probably saying I need something from those foods. And these are so good. I know they're obviously like they've got refined fruit juice, so probably not the healthiest thing in the world, but it's still fruit. It's still fruit. So let's put all this away so I can start making the burgers first, I think. And I was listening to such a good playlist in the car. If you use Spotify, the playlist was called 70s Mix. And it was like Fleetwood Mac, Billy Joel, Van Morrison. And then Joan, I don't know how to pronounce her second name. Is it Baez? I'm pretty certain she's the other character in the Bob Dylan biopic with Timothée Chalamet. And I listened to, yeah, Don't Think Twice, It's Alright. Let me just Google this. Bob Dylan, what's he even called? Dylan biopic, a complete unknown. Yeah, Baez, it is her. And I recognised it when it came on, and it was such a great song. If you like Joni Mitchell or like folk music, it's such a beautiful song. And I'd never heard it apart from in the movie, and I recognised it. Listened to the whole song thinking this is such a beautiful song, her voice is so gorgeous. And then at the end there's like a round of applause, realising it's actually like a live performance. And I was like, wow, she's extremely talented. Her voice is amazing to sing live. Yeah, really great playlist. So I'm gonna put this on whilst I put everything away. In fact, I'm gonna listen to that song again. So we'll start by making my burgers, and it has brown rice in them. So I'll make the burgers and then make the salad. Wait for the brown rice to cook. But the salad I'm making is like a multi-grain salad, so I might use some brown rice in there too. So I'm gonna make plenty of brown rice. So that's about 250 grams. Yes, I have amaranth, ancient grain. Fun fact, if you want to improve your diet, just add more whole grains. It's something I've been meaning to do and I keep forgetting because I'm just lazy and I just make myself some white rice. But just whatever you normally cook with rice, or even like things like couscous, just swap it for different grains. You can get them in Holland and Barrett or health food shops, and also sometimes in the supermarket. Like Alex got some Thai wild rice, I think black rice, from Sainsbury's the other day. And it just, I think I read somewhere, I'll double check that this is correct, but it said something about like basically eating whole grains and a variety of them lengthens your life. And it's one of the most, it's one of the kind of top indicators of places around the world where people live a long time, is that they eat a lot of whole grain. You can obviously get this in the form of bread as well. Like breads made from like rye flour or soda bread. I feel like an easy thing to do is just, if you're making a dish like a curry, just swap the basmati white rice for brown rice, or wild rice or black rice. Black rice goes so well with a Thai curry, of course, because it's Thai. And then things like amaranth you can add to salads. Quinoa, again, also is a great swap for rice. And just, you don't have to think about it too much. It just can be something that maybe you add into your food shop every week or every other week or something. So let's check how we cook this. 200 grams of amaranth, 500 ml of water. Fun fact, if you have never made if you've got an Aga and you've never made rice in the Aga, all you have to do is bring it to the boil on the top, on the simmering or the boiling hob, plate. And then put it in the bottom oven, so that the simmering oven, so it doesn't have, it's not supposed to sit on the top. You just cook it in the oven. So I'm going to put that in the oven in a second and just measure this out. I think I might, I don't want to end up with loads of this salad. So I'm going to halve the amount they're suggesting. 500 ml. This is risky because I could go over. Yeah, 601. That's great. It's obviously got 100 grams there to begin with. So that can be swapped with the brown rice because the brown rice is now boiling. I'm so dumb. I didn't halve the water, so I'm gonna have to add more amaranth. Am I gonna have loads of it? Oh well, there I was like boasting about how clever I am. How many times I do that where I think I'm gonna halve this recipe and then I start halving the ingredients and then midway through stop because I forget. So now we're gonna make my burgers. I am adapting a recipe that's on my website, so I'll leave the recipe on my website, but this is gonna be a little bit different. But you can just use the one that's already there. So you do a tablespoon of flax seed to 3 tablespoons of water and it makes a flax egg. Mix that together, set it aside. You can also do this with chia seeds, but I find flax, ground flax works better because it's ground up. And then the rest of the ingredients can just go into the food processor. Definitely works better in a blender because this is still not very fine. So we need about 125 grams of breadcrumbs. And breadcrumbs are going to help, well that's actually quite a good guess, not far off. They're going to help like bind the burgers. That's the first ingredient. Then half a red onion. I'll leave a link, like I said, to the recipe. This is a really old recipe of mine, but I am changing it and adapting it a bit. Then we've got black beans. I do find black beans works probably the best for like burgers or black bean meatballs. I've got a recipe for that in my cookbook because I think the texture of them and the colour of them and the flavour, they just have that kind of meaty feel. And I'm going to do some garlic. Garlic. Chili. The flax egg goes solid like this and it just helps to bind everything. So I think the reason these burgers, this kind of base for this burger works so well is because it's got flax egg, breadcrumbs and rice to bind them and to make them substantial. Burgers where they're a bit more simple, and I still make these too because it's a different texture and it's nice, they will just turn to mush a bit easier. And then we're also going to put some corn flour in here. And corn flour also is going to reduce the moisture. And the difference in corn flour or cornstarch, I always forget which one's which, American or English. It is different to flour in that it doesn't have flavour. So if you use flour in a recipe, it's going to have a taste, and often you need to cook it off. So if you're ever cooking something and it's too thick, add corn flour because you can add it straight there. You don't need to like fry off the flavour or anything, and it works well in this for that reason too. So we've just got to wait for the brown rice, but that's ready to go. So now I can prep the salad. Hopefully this can be relatively fast, so then I can actually make the chocolate torte, which would be lovely. I can make the chocolate torte and then tidy up a bit, get changed and just set up outside because that would be really nice. It's 3 o'clock now. I think everyone's going to come at 5. So it can give me like an hour to like, I'm assuming this whole, I'll probably take another hour doing this in the kitchen and washing up and then get everything on a tray. And then I can go outside and lay the table, get the sofa cushions out and get changed and make everything feel lovely. It's like such nice weather today that I vowed this year, because last year the summer wasn't the best and we had quite a few nice days at the beginning of the summertime. And I didn't make the most of them. And then as summer went on, I was like, oh my gosh, we've literally had like 1 or 2 barbecues or 1 or 2 sort of gatherings, and it made me sad. So I have vowed this year that anytime it's sunny and we are able to and we have the time and it works. I don't know what she's barking at. Roxy! Roxy, come here! Then I want to get outside. I'm just going to say, who wants to come around for a barbecue or who wants to come over for a meal? And we're just going to get out there because, yeah, before we know it, we'll have a baby screaming and we'll be very tired. So I think this is the time to do it. Right, let's mix our dressing. So my favourite way to make dressings is in a little jar. So this is going to have some mint, some mustard, the pomegranate molasses, lemon, olive oil, really nice and fresh. I love mint in the summer in salads. Like this smell, I'm addicted. Just is so gorgeous. Like I just want like, well, I'd love a mojito or maybe I need to like master a mocktail mojito recipe, because there's nothing nicer than like a glass of fizzy water with loads of ice and lemon and mint, and just maybe I could do that with some like tonic or something, because mint just, oh, smells divine. Could you let me know, I've always wondered this, when you're watching my videos, do you like when I put the camera up, do a bit of cooking, chat away to you, share a recipe, either like very instructionally or like loosely what I'm doing, like I am now? Or do you prefer in the middle of a vlog when I set the camera up, put some music on and just show you what it is and it's like straightforward? Because obviously I've started doing that. If you didn't know, if you didn't follow me on like Instagram and TikTok, I have moved my food content, like my instructional food content, over to like short form, because that is what the algorithm wanted. Just to talk about like creator stuff for a second, I continued doing recipe videos on my YouTube for a while and the views just started to sort of drop lower and the vlogs were doing better. And it did make me think, okay, these different platforms as they grow, there is an element of the people are using the different platforms for different purposes. I don't think people work so much anymore. I mean, I think they do still sometimes, but at least my audience wasn't coming to like YouTube so much to watch instructional cooking videos. They were doing that in short form content on Instagram or TikTok. What they were coming to YouTube for was for vlogs and relaxing videos. That's kind of what I watch on YouTube, or even like the video essays. I watch those on YouTube, kind of stuff you put on in the background and you're kind of like a podcast kind of style, listening to somebody going about their day or that kind of thing, or their week. Or like Q&As, just vlogs, very lifestyle-y. And sometimes I wonder if I include those kind of sections of my video where I'm just showing you like a recipe I'm cooking with music over the top, is that helpful? Because you're just going to be like, you're not really like paying attention to it, and you probably consume that on my Instagram and TikTok and watch those videos and save them, or go to my website, for example. So do let me know, because maybe this is nicer for you in a vlog because I'm like actually talking to you and it's more like engaging. And also, like, if you would rather I made it quite like instructional, because I could do that, because right now I'm obviously just having a barbecue. This is not necessarily me telling you how to cook something. But if you wanted like my vlogs to have like a section where I like talk to you and share a recipe and like teach you how to do it in this format, please let me know. I sometimes just think, because I spent so many years like making my videos look really great with like different camera angles, that I think, well, you won't be able to see very much, but maybe I can create a setup where you can, because you can kind of see what I'm doing, but not really. You're not getting like close-up shots or anything. But maybe you don't mind, because you're like, well, I'm just going to click on the recipe on my website anyway to find the more details. So I would love to know. It really helps me. I'm sure I'm going to get 50-50, where lots of you are like, oh yeah, I like you just chatting away and showing us what you're doing when you're cooking. And some of you are like, no, I actually quite like watching you properly like close up how you're doing it cooking with some music, so I can see what you're up to. But do let me know, because I know lots of you don't use Instagram and TikTok at all. So you may just be like, I don't care how you do it, but just show me your recipes in any format on your YouTube channel, because I know some of you missed that I don't do that anymore. But I do try and put them in the vlogs. Hopefully you notice that, generally speaking, every recipe I upload to my website does sit in a vlog at some point. We're using the nice pomegranate molasses. Like, look at this bottle, gorgeous. And it comes out like proper molasses. Now we need some mustard. I literally never buy salad dressing, ever. I don't think salad dressing from the supermarket is ever nice. I've always had an aversion to salad dressing, and I don't see I just don't like it. And when you make it at home, it's so much better. Here's another little hack for you. I was just thinking, because I uploaded a recipe the other day to TikTok and lots of people were like, whoa, that's like £10 worth of olive oil, because I used olive oil in the dressing and then I finished it and I cooked it with the olive oil, etc. I went to the supermarket the other day, this is from Sainsbury's, and they were selling these big jars. This was the cheapest out of everything. So this was cheaper than normal olive oil. This is extra virgin, but I swear it was cheaper than the normal olive oil. It was cheaper than the plastic extra virgin olive oil. You just have to look at the price per kilogram. So look out for this in the supermarket, because I know olive oil is so expensive at the minute. And then I just decant it into here, because I get through a lot of olive oil for cooking. And I just thought, what a bargain. I think the price of olive oil is going back to normal a little bit more now. So if you do your dressing in a little jar, then you can just put the lid on. Oh, is this? Oh, it's just got a bit on the side. And then you give it a shake and it should emulsify. Oh, that's so nice. Pomegranate molasses is so good. That's perfect. I would not change a thing about that. Lovely. So that's ready. So now I'm going to put the other salad ingredients in a big serving bowl, and then I'll have to wait for the rice to cool before I put it in there, because I don't want to wilt any of the salad leaves or anything. And then I think I need to like tidy, because this is becoming crazy. I don't think you can really see, but it's a mess. So I think I'm just going to add the remaining salad ingredients, which is some tomatoes and radishes and onions, that kind of thing, and then I'll show you the finished product, and when the rice comes out we can blend up our patties and like mold them together ready for later on. Our brown rice is cooked, so let's chuck this in. It's still kind of hot. Well, and then we're just going to pulse. We don't want this to be over blended. Ooh. So I've chopped everything properly, and I'm just gonna give it a mix. Oh, that smells so nice. That's enough. So you just want it to come together. It's not really about blending it or anything. And then we can just shape the patties, put them in the fridge, and they're ready to fry up, bake, barbecue. I think because I don't remember if they work on a barbecue, I'm gonna like fry them just lightly beforehand so that they're at least cooked a little bit, and then put them on the barbecue, because sometimes barbecues are iffy with how they cook food, especially vegan stuff. So I think that's the best bet, just to seal off the outside at the very least. So this makes like 4 really large ones or 6 normal sized ones. I'm gonna do probably 6. So here we have the patties. I'm just gonna put these in the fridge. It just helps them to have like hold their shape, and then we can cook them. So now it's time to make the torte while the brown rice cools, because I don't want to put a hot rice in the salad. So we need to blitz up some digestives. This will be a nice base. And then you just pour that in. This makes the base. It's like a nice sand crumb. And then with your crumb, you just put it in the base of a cake tin. We'll put that in the fridge, and then we'll make our chocolate torte filling and press it down. It's very easy. I feel like this is so good for... The recipe will come soon, but this is so good for like a very quick dessert if you're like, shit, I need a dessert for something and I don't have time. This is so easy. Okay, we can add the brown, I'll add the brown rice and I can show you the delicious salad, but it's looking pretty great. And then I'll put the dressing on just before it's served. But if you're gonna like make this ahead of time, put it in a container or like put cling film over the top, and you can put some lemon juice on it so it stays fresh. But it's a really nice little multi-grain salad, and I think I'd love to try it next time with some black rice, because I think that would make it look a really fun colour. Look at that, it smells delicious. Good morning. It is the next day after the barbecue. We had a bit of a fail with our barbecue where it got so windy. The weather forecast was like 17 degrees and it said it would be windy for like an hour in the afternoon and then it would be fine. And we put the barbecue on, and because of the wind it wouldn't get hot and it wouldn't light, kept on going out. So we had to like shove it into the corner, and it took like an hour and a half to get to the point where we could actually cook on it, and then by then it was too cold, so we had to eat inside. So that's just English people for you. You know, you see a tiny bit of sunshine and you try and make the most of it, and it goes all a bit wrong. It's very, very windy today, but I'm gonna go outside to get some, just anything I can do in the garden, doesn't really matter. I think lots of the tools are still in Kittiwake in Newlyn. So I'm gonna look and see what tools we have. Alex was like, oh, I think there's some in the back of the car. But I'm like, I really feel like all of them are in Newlyn. So we'll see. If I go outside and there's no tools, I don't know what I'll do. Maybe we could just, the beds. I'm in two minds about whether to put some of these out. I don't have a greenhouse. I put these seedlings together a while ago, and they're just looking very unhappy because they're being constrained to these pots. I worry if I put them out now, like the lettuce especially, without any covering, they'll just get eaten. Sweet peas, I need to check the label for when these can go out, but they also need like some kind of willow thing to grow up. And then I've got the dahlias, but these I want to put in the bottom beds. I want to do like the bottom half flowers, the top half vegetables, and those haven't been done yet. So I'm just kind of not sure what to do. These ones are looking really sad. I'm also worried that they've just died. They're broccoli and cabbage. I feel like they're really small. They maybe wouldn't get eaten. Anyway, enough blabbing, let's get outside. So these are the little gladioli bulbs I got in the garden centre. These are lovely sort of pinky lemony coloured ones. Some sweet candy, yellow and pink, and then some white and pink. So these can go at the bottom. Maybe this is strange. Can you please like help me out with this? Is it odd to do that with like a cutting flower, like vegetable bed? Like, should these be planted like in a border? I suppose it doesn't really matter, does it? Because they'll look pretty either way. But I love these when you have these in bouquets of flowers. And then the other things are going to be for Kittiwake, so I'll show you those in the next Kittiwake renovation vlog. I got some like erigeron and some like smaller flowers and some reduced roses that we can fill the beds with. Okay, I've come to the garden centre. I'm about to cry, and I'm supposed to be vlogging today and the video is supposed to go up tomorrow, and I can't, like, I don't know, I can't. It's really difficult when you're pregnant. You just feel so emotional all the time, and I have to still do my job. And I've had this like the last couple of weeks, and I'm like trying to pick up the camera and carry on, and yeah, it's just really difficult. I don't like doing this. I don't normally ever do this on camera, but it's like, what do I do? If it was any other job, you just have to go to work and cry in the toilet. So it's like, I'm supposed to come on here and film this like a normal video of whatever it is I'm doing, and I just feel emotional all the time. Everything's just very difficult for various reasons. And yeah, I've come to the garden centre because I tried to do the gardening, and all the garden tools are in Newlyn, so I can't do anything. And also it's so windy today, like it's at our house especially, it's like 40-mile-an-hour winds, but it feels so windy outside. So I just was like, well, I can't even do anything. Like, I thought, oh, maybe I could like pull some brambles out the ground, but I didn't have the right gloves because they're at Newlyn. And then I thought, oh, I could, you know, trim some things, and I was like, well, I've only got secateurs, so I wouldn't get very far with those. And I just was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. I just feel very emotional for lots of reasons, and just, I've come to the garden centre because I'm going to go to Kittiwake anyway, because I was like, well, I can't do anything at home, so I may as well go out. And we need to get like a lopper or like an extendable set of shears or secateurs. We used to have them and they've disappeared off the face of the earth. No idea where they went. And yeah, I've come by myself as well, because that's another thing. It's like really difficult. Like, if any of you are pregnant, you know that like it's such an emotional roller coaster if you're married and you've got your partner. Like, I just wanted to be alone. I just couldn't be bothered waiting for Alex, and I was just like, I just need to get out of the house. I just need to go. Like, I just can't. yeah, because you feel so much more emotional. So I'm going to go for a walk on Pra Sands at the beach and get this lopper tool, see if it's less windy at Kittiwake, and just do that to make myself feel more calm. And if it's too windy, I'll just do some painting for a little bit, and maybe Alex will come later. But yeah, this is like my reality at the minute. I just feel like crying all the time. It's really difficult. It's very hormonal, and I really want this to pass. I'm like having therapy, I'm doing all the right things, I'm like trying to eat well and get out on walks and spend time with friends and family, and yeah, sometimes you can't really control it, and it's just difficult. And for me personally, lying at home or relaxing, because lots of you might say, Maddie, just chill out, just rest. I'm a ruminator. I need to be doing stuff like being creative or getting things, done with my hands to get my head like not obsessing and ruminating. If I just sit at home, it's not a good idea for me. It doesn't make me feel better. So I'm going to put my sunglasses on and I'm going to go to the garden centre, about to burst into tears. That dog walk was truly a representation of how I feel, because we were being battered by the wind. Pathetic fallacy, because I was being completely battered by the wind. It's so windy on a beach when it's like the sand is just literally like battering your face, and yeah, I had to like stop and bend over and wait for the wind to pass. The waves were like literally going sideways up to the shore. It's just how I feel. I feel battered, and I think I'm getting the kind of round ligament pain, because it kind of feels like very subtle period pain, and so walking was hard. Oh, it's just not the day. It's just not the day. Oh dear me.